Creating alive movement problems, escape. In today's session, I'm going to talk about a kind of typical practice that we often see, the 5v2 Rondo, and how we can think about transferring that into a more alive movement problem in an escape kind of situation with two dual intentions for our two teams. So with our 5v2 Rondo, what we typically see is we have our 5 attacking players and they are trying to maintain possession against 2 opposition players who, if they win it, they become the attacker, they hand a penny over. And it's a really good opportunity to try to create some balance of attack and opposition and how we can think about trying to maintain possession. And so it's a pretty decent practice, but I think there's a way in which we can kind of make it a little bit more alive to add in a little bit more direction and a little bit more variance for how we might see this in a real game. So with escape, you'll notice we have our 5 blue players who are kind of representing that 5 in the Rondo situation. But whereas in the 5v2 Rondo, here, the defenders that you add in is really going to be dependent on the level of your player and really what you're gonna wanna try to get out of it. If you're really focusing more on the 5, you might take a defender away and make it 5v3. But if you're really trying to make it more about the defending team and the pressing, you might add an extra defender to see which side you want to have a little bit more of the success. Because as I've talked about in the Why Mistakes Matter, you do want to have a level of success for both teams to make it competitive and to make it representative. But basically the situation is, as we start out, the 5 in blue are defending the big goal, and so you will have your goalkeeper. Not necessary, you don't absolutely have to have a goalkeeper. It can be maybe a central defender, but you want to be defending that that big goal. We're kind of thinking about this the defensive third for the blue team, and they are attacking these 3 small goals that purple is defending. So really, ultimately, it is a 5v something, and for blue, it is escape because they're going to try to get out, whereas purple are going to try to press and score. So play starts with this purple player right here. They have the ball, and they're going to make a pass into the goalkeeper. As soon as the pass is made and the ball crosses this sort of cone line, and this is just really a visual indicator for this player here, so that they know they cannot press until the ball crosses this line. Once the ball crosses this line, they can press. And so basically, the grid should be big enough such that this player is going to have to make a 1, no more than 2 touches before they distribute to someone. So in the same way in which we are trying to maintain possession in the 5v2 Rondo, these 5 players are trying to maintain possession, but in addition to maintaining possession, we're adding that direction. Can we attack one of these 3 goals? Because in the game, we do see how, when we're playing out from a goal kick, for example, we can go a number of directions, ultimately trying to transfer the ball up the field, progress up the field, but we can do so, going around or going through. So as soon as the ball is played to this player, to this goalkeeper, and they make that 1-touch pass, either here, or possibly if they have enough time and space, even further out wide, play is live. And we are going to play in this scenario until the ball is dead, at which point the ball restarts, ball played in, and then these 5 players try to progress into one of these 3 goals, whereas purple is trying to press and win. So we actually did this one yesterday, and the way I set it up, we had, we'd had a pretty heavier practice the day before, so we had basically 2 groups of 8, and so I had one group play for 2 minutes, and they transitioned off. We would chat for a minute, the next group would come on and they would play for 2 minutes, and we kind of went back and forth for about 12, 14 minutes. Each group kind of went through a couple of times. And the nice thing about this was, because it was kind of 2 minutes on, 2 minutes off, the intensity level when they were on for 2 minutes was really, really high. And while they were doing that, I could chat with the teams that were off and say, hey, how successful were you? What could we do differently? And, for our group, which is, primarily 2007s, 2008s, and some 2006s, for purple, initially they were having not a whole lot of success because they were kind of sitting back and just kind of waiting for purple to do something, or for blue to do something, which made it really, really easy for blue to, work the ball around. This player actually stepped into the middle and created a bit of a pivot, and it was, really easy for them to be successful. So the next time they went on, purple's job was, hey, can we press quickly? And when this 9, because this is really the 9, when they press either this way or this way, because the idea was don't just press straight, give the players behind you an idea of which way you're going to press so that they can cover and try to keep that ball into that one side. So if this 9 presses onto this side, forcing the ball wide to this outside defender, or this right central defender, this player and this player can know we need to cover and cut off those passing lanes back across. So if this 9 is cutting off this passing lane, this player can step into this space, this player can step into this space to really discourage playing back across and trying to lock and trap the ball into this side. And similarly, when blue is in possession, it's really about do we want to maintain our structure, or do we want to continue to try to get, if the ball gets played to this side, this player tucking in and adding that pivot, adding a little bit more of solidity, so that if we do lose it, we're not so spread apart. But a lot of good things came out of it, and we did this, like I said, for about 14-15 minutes, and again, rather than using just the strict 5v2, adding in a couple of goals, giving some direction, maintaining that attack and defense orientation was a really good way to show how this can manifest in the game, building out while at the same time pressing for the opponents. And so here is a way that you can turn a 5v2 into an alive movement problem. Escape.